Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin and welcome to my channel. I feel like I don't have a lot of physical books that I haven't read compared to a lot of people. I am pretty good at reading what I do buy and only buying when I need more books. So this video isn't going to be as long compared to a lot of people's, but I do have some good books that I haven't read, so let's talk about them. The first three I'm not gonna go too in depth about because they were in my last book haul. First, I have Autobiography of Red by Anne Carson. I think I'm gonna read this sometime in April or May. This book is a retelling of a Greek myth, which Anne Carson's pretty much known for, and it's really short. It's a mixture of poetry and prose, which I do really like books like this. This will be my first Anne Carson, so I'm hoping I like it. Her writing sounds really interesting and unique, so I do plan to read this soon. It just hasn't happened yet. I also have Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tokarczuk. I don't know when I'm gonna read this. I kind of want to read it soon because I'm interested in the story, but I also think this would be a good book to read in October or November. This book is about Janina, and she lives in Warsaw, Poland. She takes care of summer homes for the wealthy, and people start dying and showing up dead. But this is a whodunit story. I was interested in it because it prompts a lot of questions that Crime and Punishment touches on, and that's one of my favorite books, so I am excited to read this, but I don't know if I will get to it soon. Next, I have Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. This was also in my last book haul, and this I'll definitely be reading soon, also in April or May. Mrs. Dalloway, it follows a woman, Mrs. Dalloway, through the course of her day, and this book is intimidating to me, which is why I haven't read it yet. It's just straight stream of consciousness. There's no chapters, there's no breaks, and I quite like books that have breaks because for some reason it encourages me to keep reading. So I do plan to get to this though, either in April or May as well. I feel like this would be a good spring book. I don't know if that's true, but that's how I see it. Anyway, moving on to books that I haven't already talked about. I have some Shakespeare. I have A Midsummer's Night Dream. I have not read this before. I am gonna save this for July, like midsummer, to read. But it's really short, actually. I don't know too much of what it's about besides there's fairies. It's very whimsical. I think there's a love story in it. But yeah, I honestly don't know too much about this, but I am reading a Shakespeare for every month this year currently. I'm reading Hamlet. That'll be for the month of March, even though I haven't started yet, and March is over this week, but I will read it. I will get to it. The next book is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I've not read this yet. My brother's girlfriend actually got me this for Christmas, so thank you, Gina. She's so sweet. And honestly, I don't even know what this book is about. I just know it's the book to read about dark academia, which I do find interesting, but I'm not like obsessed with that theme. The back of this book says, under the influence of a charismatic classics professor, a group of clever, eccentric misfits at a New England college discover a way of thought and life a world away from their banal contemporaries. But their search for the transcendent leads them down a dangerous path beyond human constructs of morality. So it does sound good. I know people either love this book or hate it. I'm not sure what I'll think of it, but I'm definitely gonna save this for September, October. Definitely fall vibes from this book. So the next book I have is Emma. I actually bought this book about 2 years ago, and I only read about 10 pages before giving up. I don't think I was ready for this book yet. At the time, I wasn't reading a ton, and I especially wasn't reading books that were written in the 1800s. And just conceptually, I just couldn't read this book. Like, I did not understand what was going on. Whereas now that I do read a lot of classics, primarily set in the 1800s, I think I can tackle this book. I also think I'll really like it. Let me read the little synopsis. It's lovely to be young, beautiful, rich, and wise. Emma Woodhouse knows she has been blessed in many ways, not the least of which is in her natural gift for arranging the affairs of others. Having arranged a perfect marriage between her former governess, Miss Taylor, and the wealthy Mr. Weston, in spite of the doubts cast on her matchmaking prowess by her friend and neighbor, Mr. Knightley, Emma launches a plan to save her new protégée, Harriet Smith, from an unsuitable marriage to Robert Martin, a modestly prosperous farmer. The plan begins to go awry when Mr. Elton, the village vicar, who is her intended match for Harriet, misconstrues Emma's attentions. Things degenerate further with the arrivals of Mr. Weston's wealthy, handsome, charming son, Frank Churchill, and the beautiful and accomplished Jane Fairfax. Emma sees Frank as a new potential husband for Harriet, while others believe his sights are set directly on Emma, who has vowed never to marry. She keeps a wary eye on Jane, but Jane has worries of her own. Meanwhile, the normally clear-eyed, self-possessed Mr. Knightley is suddenly acting strange. I think I'll really like this. I'm excited to read it. I did order Pride and Prejudice, so I want to read that first before getting to Emma. So this will probably be a book for April or May. Next, I have East of Eden by John Steinbeck. So I got probably about like 40% through this book, and I don't know why I didn't keep going. I feel like it just wasn't the time in my life to read this because the writing is beautiful, and when I was reading it, I didn't want to put it down. But then once I put it down, I didn't really feel like picking it back up. So I'm definitely gonna give this another try, probably over the summer. It is a long one, but it is really good. First published in 1952, East of Eden is the work in which Steinbeck created his most mesmerizing characters and explored his most enduring themes: the mystery of identity, the inexplicability of love, and the murderous consequences of love's absence. A masterpiece of Steinbeck's later years, East of Eden is a powerful and vastly ambitious novel that is at once a family saga and a modern retelling of the Book of Genesis. I'm really excited to start this again. I think I'm gonna have to start from the beginning because it has been so long since I picked this book up. Like, it's actually embarrassing, but I did really like it when I was reading it. I think this is gonna be a summer read. I don't know. Next, we have a book that I'm probably gonna read. Oh, I don't know. So this is The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. I'm definitely not saying that right. The Gulag. Honestly, okay, I am not a history person, so I don't know too much of what this is about, and there's no synopsis, which I was really hoping to read. Okay, this is a little bit about the author though. So Alexander served as a decorated captain in the Soviet Army during World War II. But in 1945, he was sentenced to prison for 8 years for criticizing Stalin and the Soviet government in private letters. So this book is the telling of Alexander Solzhenitsyn's, I can't pronounce that last name, I'm really trying. But it's his story of his arrest and interrogation and his time in prison. So I actually wanted this because this month I'm reading Notes from a Dead House by Dostoevsky, and that's his prison experience in a book. And That book took place almost 100 years before this book, so I kind of wanted to compare and contrast. Since I am reading Notes from a Dead House, I would like to get to this fairly soon, but I know this is really violent and it's about 600 pages, so we'll see. Last but not least, I have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I also think I wasn't ready to read this when I bought it. I feel like I would love this now. I'm definitely saving this for Halloween, but like this is the year I read Frankenstein because like I really think I'll love it. I don't really think I need to talk too much about this book. I feel like most people know what it's about, but I'm super excited. Super excited. Should be a good time. Anyway, that's all my physical TBR. I really don't have a lot that I haven't already read. Maybe I'll make a video on all the books I have read that I haven't talked about yet. I think that could be interesting because also I feel like in these videos when I talk about books I haven't read, I can't really give an in-depth like summary or how I feel about it because I haven't read it yet. I can really only just read what's on the back of the book. So I don't know if anyone who watches this even really gets a lot out of these videos, but I like making them. Thank you for watching. Leave me a comment down below as to what's on your physical TBR and what you're gonna read next. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.